Erica Lorraine Spencer here. This is the P.O.C. pattern of conduct, the ongoing real-time documentation of what is the criminal pattern of conduct of federal stalking in violation of 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsection 1 and subsection 2. This is the pattern of conduct underway by a public entity, that is the state of California, that is engaging in federal stalking in concert with the people of the state of California. So this is group conduct. And this is the practicing of what are the criminal elements of monitoring amongst what is the demon possessed. And so this is what is documentation of terrorism as it is underway by a public entity in concert with the people of the state who are in the shoes of the government as this criminal system is in ceaseless operation. And as the state engages in this demented group conduct, this is revealing how the public entity, that is the state of California, that is in the United States of America, how terrorism of an American citizen plays out, what that looks like, how that is facilitated amongst a people, amongst a government, how it is public corruption in plain sight, and not only that, how you formulate policy and how you prosecute that which is demonic conduct, it's demonic activity, but that which is in no way impervious to prosecution in federal court, and being subject to ratification into federal policy. This is the P.O.C. All right, I am at third-party facilitating venue Vaughn's at 81 West Foothill in Upland, where the state's fake sun is over the venue. And by over, I mean it is hunched in front of the entrance of the Vaughn's. Then you have what is the state's directed light. Those are two different methods of stalking with light, by the way. And you have also what is the flashing of directed light, molestation of directed light, patrolling of the people to say this is the demon possessed that are entering inside of the bathroom, maintaining presence, engaging in federal stalking inside of the bathroom, while the state is aiming its directed light. What I'm showing you are psychopaths in the video as well. You have them stopping in the hallway to talk about inventory while the state is aiming directed light on the hallway. That's the conduct of psychopaths, having the absence of any form, but you see how demons are conducting their act like they're having a conversation about their work or whatever, which is legally referred to as what is facilitation, while they are stalking in relevant position outside of the private space. This is while the directed light is present, and while they are also stalking while I'm operating my communication device, and this is the reality of what they're doing. While you're looking at what is not sunlight and not ever going to naturally occur, the state is necessarily aiming this light and flashing this directed light while they are stalking in the bathroom. And that's exactly what I documented again. And this is, it's 8:39 a.m. and I'm on the surveillance cameras inside of the Vaughn's. And that is the pattern of conduct underway inside of the private space. All right, I do want to document, again, it's an entity, but I want to specifically document you have what are Vaughn's employees patrolling inside of the bathroom in concert with the third-party patrons, group stalkers, that are entering inside of the venue to stalk inside of the bathroom. And then you'll have, in the video that I'm capturing, you have the African-American female. She's a security guard. Just like in video, when she's walking through the hallway, she has double shadows on the ground. And also the shadows, that shadow activity, light activity is appearing on the ceiling as I'm showing you while she's walking in directed light. Understand this is intentional. She's crossing path again in that directed light while I'm capturing that video today. That's monitoring conduct, and it's also demonic activity while they are stalking in a bathroom and around the private space with knowledge that you're operating communication. They're monitoring on video. And this is what they're doing while you're in the bathroom. They're stalking, engaging in that demonic activity inside of that private space at Vaughn's. I just want to make sure I document that. And those are Vaughn's employees standing around creating audible activity while they're talking about inventory. Those are demons with no form. All right, P.O.C. 79589E1 4800H handicap. All right, and as I captured on video, as I exit the venue, you have what is meeting in the path, the demons that are driving at the entrance, getting into a parking spot. All right, this is what the people do in order to stalk with light. And directed light is all over the ground while they are engaging in that while they're under the fake sun, all right, at the entrance of the Vaughn's. Let's see, 7CIE162, 8LFB945. You have what is the same demonic activity inside of a grocery store, 7FBK293. That same directed light that I'm showing you is occurring while they're driving by, which has nothing to do with a car driving by. All right, this is demonic activity, and they're carrying that inside of a private space, stalking in bathroom stalls inside of that private space inside of Vons, which is nothing but a venue. 6RRH010. AH455. I can't see the rest of that license plate. 7JBW204, 6VOV119, 4AHE847, 76073W2, 7LZN748, 8VSY234, 6NXL162.
I'm gonna have to drop you off. You're gonna have to cross the street.
Your future.
I can't be late.
These things are none of our business. Your symptoms, your work from home sweatpants, and whatever you were searching for at 1:15 a.m. That's really none of our business. Because your life is private, and unlike other tech companies. Oh, who's that from?
You've gotta be kidding.
7ERE166.
Across the street.
You can earn a $5 bonus card for
5F20917 or 5B20917. I can't really see that plate. Let's see. It is 8:49 a.m. 7RKN636 20757M2, and that is 2D20917 8TOF420. Seven LVS 956. You can let me out right here.
First sounds of jingle bells that mark the official start of the holidays. It's not even the first signs of snow. The holidays start when you save it. And that's why our Black Friday save.
8CMY334.
Whether you're a holiday plan.
6YAF123. All right, at Uptown and Country. Because the third party is in such a rush to get to work, but understand she's still monitoring in the private space along with all the rest of them, engaging in the same demonic activity. Light all over the Marshalls and Big 5 sign while she's exiting. Same with 6161382. P.O.C, that's directed light. All right, the same directed light I'm showing you all over, that's what's on the signs, and she's monitoring me while she's rushing off to work. All right, it is ongoing audible activity while you're listening to that. So, and the state's fake sun is over the venue, like I said, of Vons. The state's directed light is inside of Vons. That's ongoing activity creation and stalking while the state is following with an environment inside of the bathroom, and that is the predator and the sex offender. Engaging in that conduct, following with that environment, which is deliberately created at that environment. 8VWL589 is monitoring with Omnitrans, directed light on the sign while they're driving by it. The fake sun is above it. So this is that which is totally detached and in no way connected. Driving by with this light that is occurring. This is demonic activity. That's a demon-possessed stalker. That's a white female she's demon-possessed. Let me tell you her condition. 8VWL589. The demon-possessed stalker behind her is 7ZGT827. These are women, and they're in vehicles. I'm just identifying them while they're engaging in demonic activity, and they're acting with the heavily documented demon-possessed actors of Omnitrans driving the bus in relevant position where that ongoing activity is being created. It is currently 8:52 a.m. The state's fake sun is over Uptown and Country, where I've shown you at all times, including at 10 o'clock in the morning, in the afternoon, where the state is following with its fake sun over me over the same parking lot. And let me be clear, while I'm in the private space at Vons, they're monitoring as well. All right, so, and that goes without saying that speaking to criminal monitoring, you're talking about the sex offender and how they are engaging in what is predatory and sexually motivated conduct as that which they are practicing, which is demonic activity upon what is federal stalking. All right, and then doing that inside of a private space. And in directed light and under a fake sun, you're not doing anything but stalking. That environment is present for you to maintain presence. 8LAB259. All right. And you have what is stalking inside of the private space, which is the bathroom, while they are stalking someone in a stall, in the same way that you see the United States Postal Service, FedEx, etc., stalking at gas stalls, all right, under the fake sun. That's why I take pictures of it, because you look at what they're doing, that's the reality of what they're doing. They're stalking. And it's absolutely pathetic, and it's absolutely disgusting as I'm taking images of what is stalking in a bathroom stall, all right? And that's exactly what they're doing under a fake sun. and in directed light, standing around talking about inventory. Oh, well, you know, we're out of this, and I could have sworn, you know, I told the manager, and they're doing it while the state is flashing directed light. Those are demons. That's the demon possessed. Those are the demon possessed that are psychopaths and they're violent sex offenders with knowledge of what you're documenting, and you're going to prosecute and specifically prosecute the name Vons that is directly associated with sexual violence of an American citizen. All right, that's a sex offender. The legal concept of a company. All right, and it is representing the state while the state's environment is present. All right, and that is every third party walking around, intentionally walking around in that directed light with double shadows, shadows at the heights of the ceilings while they are intentionally crossing path, creating noise with shopping carts, driving by in the state's directed light while light activity is all around on the asphalt, on the curbs, and on the surfaces around, including on my person. All right, that's all intentional conduct in that environment, and it's demonic activity. All right, so it is 8:54 a.m. All right, license 8JUV 254. Seven VCW 918. XPZ 042. 7PWV 467, I believe. 7JHB 052. NANA 75. 7AYA 751. 5UYN 595. 7VBD 156. 5TGJ 181. 8TQM 964. 7JDX 679. 11955Y2. Understand they're all hiding in the bathroom stall, stalking together, engaging in that sexual violence. Upland 1186041. Unified Upland, Unified School District, Upland Unified School District. 6CHC 576. 8HRD 838. I already read that demon's license plate, and that is amplified audible activity. 6CHC 576, 7JYZ 578, 48908H2, 3682D handicap, FRANKP, 7ZLD 176, 19932E2. 7EQM253, 7XEV950, 8KTS209, 16966B2. All right, and these demons are doing the same thing that was occurring inside of the Vons, which is directed light all over the road while they are driving by and in the shade. All right, these are demons. This is the demon possessed, including Dewey Pest Control, 24451Y1. Dewey Pest Control needs to look into not hiring the demon possessed because their company is now exposed as being prosecuted as a sex offender, a legal concept to be appreciated, and engaging in what is terrorism while their employees are practicing what is federal stalking and demonic activity, which is terrorism. 74682Y2 on behalf of a government. 8PMR 257, XPO Logistics. I'll get that license plate in a second. 7A 97955, 6RRH 010, 8LAS 828, 8CWN 203, 8URN 729, BNGA 859, 8PN, 8PRN. I can't really see that one. Can't see that too well. BK30 526, I believe. 8SQN014, 7EBK 293, 8GPR761, 8JGD 294, 7MQM667, 7EZU359, 7DQA 273. Let's see, So I'm going to say we're at 8 PMR 257 7 DUG 680. And this is QPO Logistics 2493927. US.241829. Molesting with directed light. All right, 57811F2. 8MXF026. 7552. I can't really see that one. 6KJT407. 8AMN087. 6UMB785. 80170N1. All right, and I've shown you what these demons engage in with the state, and it is purely demonic activity, and it is demonic activity which you are able to ratify as to the means of what is touching by stalkers who are demon possessed and engaging in federal stalking. 8GBH528, and that's exactly what they're doing while directed light is streaming backwards from their cars, molesting. 8YME876, and that is demonic activity. 7PU882, 8RNN849. And I've shown you this in video. That's exactly what they're doing. And this is also hostility communicated by the demon possessed who know you're documenting, including the government. That's terrorism, okay? 73935B3. And this is Holiday Rock Co. Incorporation. Holiday Rock Company Incorporated of Upland, California, California 18748. They're also crossing the street on the opposite side. All right, they're engaged in the same molestation and terrorism and stalking in a bathroom stall. N506KO, that's the entity engaging in that, including that company. 4RKM559, 8WNU398, 8JYR980, 80579U1, Floor Decor Incorporated. BE87W70, that's paper. 6YDZ481, 6F KV740, 7NVK795, 6TJW440, 7XOW221, 7MBT581, 8VMU050, 6LAW816, 7FBJ088, OIFANG, 97821H2, 8DIW898, 6CWT604, BR15F04 paper, FNDBGET 6TZT581, 7MNZ300, 8J, I can't really see that one. It is 9:02 a.m. 07653K2. 8620. Hold on, this is the commercial vehicle. 86820P2. And that is J. I'll get that company name in a minute. 8EAH482. The company name of that vehicle is... yeah, that's what I thought. It says Frontier. But I don't know that that's Frontier Communications. Oh, yeah, that's Frontier Communications. 3005OJ2. Crossing path again. License 6DBV603. All right, this is Smith Landscape. License C-277893335. And that license plate is 07653K2. That's a commercial vehicle. It is 9:03 a.m. and these are demons that are patrolling in the environment, and the state's engineered light and the fake sun is directly over the intersection. All right, this is nowhere near being over and coexisting with remaining over the precise 711 204 North Euclid Avenue or remaining in Ontario at 630 North Fern, 7PQB684, 7RJD789, remaining anywhere in Ontario. It's clearly over the intersection here in Upland. 7PMJ468, 8VHS668. All right, but it's not just that. You're talking about these demons that are crossing path intentionally and directed light streaming backwards from their cars. The light comes toward me. That's the focus of the demons while they are crossing path in that environment. That's what the demons are doing. 8UGL949, 8UON081, 7WFL330, 7VIB 548, 8MZS 529, 8NUS 362, 8AJE 200, 8TXH 427, 8HYB 183, 8MUC 549. Operation of the communication devices in directed light and engineered light. All right, federal stalking. 8A39U24. Frontier Communications crossing path again, and also their facilitating venue is right down the street. It's where I formerly used to live, where the fake sun was maintained over that street. All right, they're monitoring crossing path, and they're monitoring at the facilitating venue right down the block. It is 9:05 a.m. Upland Police, license 156-1123, vehicle 221. 8PAW 459, 8CCT 771. All right, license 6YPG 707. And it is 9:05 a.m. Alrighty, license I can't really see that one. It is 9:05. I remain at Foothill and Euclid Avenue. This is 8GVP 327, 7EZS 202, 6MNJ 579, 7250. I can't really see the rest of one. 7LGV. I can't see that one either. All right, I'm showing you what's a demon-possessed actor. Operation of his communication device. After I document taking an image of him, he knows exactly what I'm doing, and he's looking on his phone, aware of what I just captured, which was a picture of him. What he did is, this is demonic activity. He's on a bike, he's under the fake sun, and he's riding in circles behind me, and then he stops because he's going to go right back down the street. He came around to create activity around me. 7WRP 806. What they do in this engineered light is they move around, pace around. This is what the state does in helicopter, in circles. This is what they do in their cars, pacing back and forth and moving. This is a psychopath, and this is a kid. This is a demon-possessed one on a bike, riding around in a circle. I did take an image of that. Demon possession has nothing to do with your age. And 325 West G Street, using her minion child, her demon-possessed child, to monitor last night as well. 6T58696. 7ZAJ 271, 8WET 682. SJE 261. Yeah, 325 West G Street. That third party with the license plate 6ROX. That's how it begins. 607 3W2. That's another license plate. Her license plate that begins with 6ROX. I've read it, and you saw her monitoring again with a kid while my shadow was appearing across the street in blue tinted directed light upright on the wall of her venue, while she was intentionally in the path stalking with the state that is routinely stalking by helicopter and airplane over that street where I am. Last night, using her minion child, her demon-possessed child, who was repeatedly darting back and forth, that is crossing path while she was creating light activity, and the state was aiming directed light. That's a demon-possessed child. 56775A3, 6C93103, 4LTS225, 8F37673, 8NVZ 856, 7EJC 846, 6LMG 966, 7EXW 424, 7XYL 543, 8SWK 747, 40485 S1. Let me see, 8HGM. I can't see the rest of it. 4PF. I can't see that one. It was too dusty. 7HZF 073, JAABS. 3HJG 833. 81109H1, 1463245, C743J1, 8TBP 181. And as she is, and I'm talking about 325 West G Street, as she is creating light activity, they had already gone in as I am using my phone. That's why they're doing that. So they come back outside, or feigning like they went in, because they had already closed car doors, walked toward their venue, and then walked back out. I'm in operation of my communication device. And then this little minion, he's darting back and forth at the same time that I'm engaging in this operation on my phone, I'm on the internet and I am looking at different sites, and as I'm engaging in as I change activity, he's darting back and forth. That's stalking with activity and crossing path and creating light activity as the state is creating directed light while she is in concert acting with the state. Remember, their headlights are not their headlights alone, it's directed light. That's what I showed you. While a predator is aiming headlights in anticipation of me walking by, that's a predator waiting to touch. While the state was flying over by helicopter at Stater Brothers. All right, this is what they're doing all over the place. And this is what they were doing last night while she was monitoring. Understand that's going toward prosecution and losing your minion child. While they include, those are enhanced repercussions as federal stalking is underway by the demon-possessed, including minors inside of their criminal activity, which is sexually violent, acting in concert with minors. This is what the government is doing, acting in concert with the people of the state, and all the ways in which they do that. Those are going to be enhancements with regard to that prosecution. And that's why I document it. 8XRV 793. 6XCB307, and I know that venue address is 325 West G Street. She's a sex offender, all right? She's a terrorist, using her address as a venue. That's exactly why directed light is on it. The fake moon is over it. The fake sun is over it. The state is flying in circles over it while I'm in the car right beside it, all right? She's monitoring. She's a terrorist and she's a sex offender, and then she's using the demon possession of her child to engage in that criminal conduct, which is federal stalking and terrorism. They're engaging in terrorism together. 7DEM027. And she's monitored. 7DEM027 is monitoring with minors in the car. They are under the fake sun at the intersection, engaging in ongoing molestation. All right, and let me be clear, this same entity is the same one. I'm documenting more names because they're all stalking in a bathroom stall together, including Upland Police 156 1123 221, vehicle 221 crossing path again. 8HTX 341. All right, 8XIK 598. And let me be clear, 499-6M1, that's Holiday, again, crossing path. 7NWS182, I am identifying the demon-possessed, including in the Upland Police who was repeatedly crossing path. I've made that clear. I want to be clear, I'm not mincing words. These are the demon-possessed. They're in that demonic environment. They are engaging in demonic activity on a major basis as I stand at the intersection, and I'm identifying the demon-possessed, including Upland Police. All right? That's exactly what they're doing. License 8T27518, 7XQU729, and the demon-possessed will stalk you in the bathroom and stalk you with that demonic and unnatural light. 8KO7796. And that's exactly what Upland Police are being documented as. 6575262, I believe. I can't really see it that clearly though. 8KYX625. It's 9:12 a.m. That's audible activity. Third party facilitating venue, Chase Bank. 47269. I can't really see that one though. Alrighty, you do have the sex offender flying. Alrighty, showing you video of what is a psychopath hovering over the parking lot as I showed you, and with knowledge of every word that I'm saying and what I'm doing on my phone, immediately makes a U-turn to fly behind the grocery store. The state is doing this on a constant basis, and then you see the minions, 7MUP290, that are swarming all around with directed light all over the ground. This is demonic activity. This is terrorism. While demonic activity that I'm documenting is underway, they are engaging in federal stalking, all right? And you have what is federal stalking in the bathroom. That's what I'm honing in on. They're sex offenders, and that's exactly what I'm going to prosecute them as. That's a very violent sexual offense, a perpetual one never contemplated by federal legislation, and the entirety of the entity, commercial actors, government actors together, because they represent one entity that is maintaining presence on behalf of that government, that's monitoring while they're stalking in bathroom stalls, and just like you saw, flying over in plane and helicopter, maintaining ongoing federal stalking conduct inside of that private space while the state's environment is intentionally there. That's not the sun, as I've shown you and I've already established. That's clearly not even sunlight, and let alone if that was the sun, which it's not. But even if that was, understand that's clearly directed light that is never going to appear. You're not going to have flashing light. You're going to have moving shadows. You're not going to have double shadows. That's demonic activity. 7VIK382 in what is directed light. It's demonic conduct while the state's engineered light, speaking to demon possession, is present. This is terrorism and stalking in a bathroom. BE46B46 and molestation. 4VZE604. 7WTC786. And this is Vaughn's. Nothing about nothing familial, nothing about a family market at all, okay? 8DJB816. 8KNU348, 8AMP515. Upland Police engaging in repeated crossing path, 7EHD368, which is, let me see, 8RLX178, which is intended as a threat. While federal stalking is underway, the demons are hostile to my documenting them. Let me be clear. That's what that is about. You are monitoring. The pattern of conduct is underway. 8WEB901, the police visibly being present is a communication of a threat. 7FDA679, 6GPL798, 8JBR515. Pepsi is present monitoring with Upland Police. License 9GO3869. U.S.6929947. License and molesting with directed light, just like I showed you on video. License plate 7GTA290. C 6WFM181. 8LO1710, 6UEX580, 7STK285, 6VOV119, LA90032, 5HAK616, 8LPJ748, 7JBW204, 8FUS237, 8WMG256, 4VQP997, 7U15741, excuse me, 7JOZ397, and 5DYD570, 7LVS956, 7VNY766. Upland Police crossing path again, just patrolling in the parking lot, 7D96096, 8ETE077. And by just patrolling, I mean stalking, pacing back and forth, okay? And that's what I mean by just that. That's no small thing. That's a demon in a police vehicle that is stalking and engaging in demonic activity. 8TWD388, 8TGM009, 7XRD486, pacing in directed light. That's the demonic conduct. They're psychopaths. The demon-possessed engage in that conduct in their light. And I say their light because it's a natural light. This is engineered light. And I have shown in video after video where the demon-possessed engage in. I want to say they act a fool when they get in the light. It's like they want to run around in circles. They pace in their directed light. They engage in this ritualistic conduct in that light, which is activity creation. This is how you're breaking down what is federal stalking. This is the pattern. They are engaging in monitoring of communication devices, and it occurs while ongoing manipulation of my communication device results with simultaneity to what I'm doing on my communication device. This is monitoring. This is federal stalking, but it's demonic activity. Understand that. And that is a demon in an Upland Police vehicle who is pacing in directed light. This is both terrorism because that is conduct intended to intimidate, to strike fear while federal stalking is underway. It is terrorism because you have what is the demon possession, that demonstration of demon possession by a police officer, okay, who is engaging in criminal conduct. All right. That is terrorism both ways. I want to be clear on that. 7NZY334, 8HTX314, 6LMG825. All right, and group stalking via the drive-through of the Chase Bank, which is no form. The elements remain in there under the fake sun. Group stalking at a gas stall, group stalking in bathroom stalls, group stalking at the bank in a drive-through, no form. 8CAC183. There is nothing that you're doing that is superseding the fact that you're surrounded by that which is not naturally occurring, which is you're not under the sun and you are not in sunlight. All right, you are not engaging in ordinary conduct where this this activity that I'm documenting all around you is ongoing. You're a psychopath. That's what I'm revealing. I'm revealing the demon possessed who are engaging in criminal conduct. License 5HJY604. It's 9:22 a.m. NFH7482, that's Texas. 8TQL003. 02028J3. 7HCL886. 7KKPO20. 5GMP 553. 7NSF376. 8JYX007. I'm sorry, 077. 97003H2. 8WHH368. 6WMD313. 8TTH310. 7EXH103. 7KFZ927. 7LON498. 498, excuse me. 8UTM997. 7LCM684. 8UWL961. 8CKV252. 7EZV277. 40168F1. 5GIX292. Very heavily dosed with demon possession, sitting in his car with the windows up. This is an old Asian male under the fake sun, maintaining presence at the end of the parking lot. 8ACJ454. He's got a good dose of Satan on him. The same thing with this one, sitting in the passenger side of the vehicle. They're stalking in the path. They're maintaining presence in the path. In the same way as I walk through the library, as I walk through any venue, they maintain presence. Sitting in the car, 8RYD257. (40168F1). 4AMS394. 7TOP124. I think I might have read this one. 7LCM684. 6WMD313. Oh, I read that one already. 4NWW786 and 7K65837. 8LEG221. 7ZGX353. 7XDX312. 8PLH879. 8JYF368. 7UQM007. 6JJZ340. 4WOK326. 4YEK214. 7WEL355. 81200Z1. JCCX with a heart. 7VNZ926, 8WDJ931, 8JVG783, 8HXC6477, KJW519, 7HGT420, 6ZNG370, 6HJZ686, 5LZX755. 8WHH368, maintaining presence at the back of the parking lot. 7UWL711, 5JCP496, 7ZAX022. Am I on your way? Go ahead. I think I read this one already. 8WHH368. Who are you? I don't know you. That's audible activity, and she got directed light that she's touching me with while she's crossing the path. 8WHH368, 75531P2, 7FBT094, 17840J2, 4ZTN885, 6WFJ958. And 17840J2 is monitoring with the baby. Okay, so understand what they're doing while they're monitoring and doing it with the baby. 6YVA329. (53109Y2). Directed light behind that vehicle on the asphalt. All right, that's the mark of demon possession. 5XXP439. 8LFR, I read that one. 7D82196, 7YFR053, 7KKN991, 7GBX104, 8HJF074, 8S64115, 8SJE804, I think I read that one. 5HAP358, believe I read these when we were coming out of the parking lot. 6G FH157, an operation of a communication device and directed light. 7XAR 215, 8SMY 316, DREMEN. She's dreaming. She's dreaming, all right. Operation of a communication device and directed light. 5NGM 64L 79589E1. She's dreaming, all right. 8P34047. Let's see. 7NUH975. It's 9:28 a.m. 5 U.S.C 020. All right, it is 9:29 a.m. and I want to show you the fake sun that's remaining over the Vons because I'm remaining here. This is, again, the ongoing pattern of maintaining the light source, because that's not the sun, that is over me, and this is coupled with directed light. 8BPE860, and this is speaking to the sex offender that I documented again, that I'm documenting right now as I continue to document more license plates, including Ryder, who was stalking with peculiarized light in the parking lot under the fake sun. All right, and that's driven by what looks to be some... Oh, no, that's somebody else. That's United States Postal Service, it looks like. He's crossing path using his communication device and engineer light, where United States Postal Service is actually stalking in the path at 7-Eleven at 204 North Euclid, where the fake sun is clearly over that 7-Eleven, not over Vons, okay? Alrighty, documenting USPS crossing path in that same directed light. Alrighty, let me get this on my podcast. I captured video making a good example out of the demon-possessed maintaining different flags on his vehicle. It doesn't mean anything. It creates visible activity actually in the fake sun and in directed light. And that license plate is 55591J2. 8BTV140 and 8RVK195 is monitoring with him. Capturing what is USPS, and that's identified by the outfit that state actor is wearing. Crossing path, that was a demon that paced back and forth from the entrance to back to the vehicle while maintaining peculiarized light, while I'm documenting on video, directed light, while demons are patrolling around me in the parking lot. And the USPS is an operation of a communication device and directed light. This is federal stalking conduct, period. And you have what is use of Ryder, that is exposing also that third party, who also, Ryder is always engaging in the P.O.C. So, like I said, that's intentional conduct also with knowledge that I document the entity. This is the kind of conduct that they engage in. It doesn't matter what vehicle you drive. You can drive whatever you want because you're going to be exposing that company. This is going to disincentivize many methods employed. All right, because while you're in some other state and you find out that you're being federally prosecuted for what one of your employees or whoever has exposed you to, because you're not avoiding prosecution, 7GBL575, when you're monitoring with the government, you're going to take it up with whoever it is that you put in a position to expose you to that. Be careful of who you're hiring, especially the demon-possessed psychopaths. All right, be wary of that. 7HTB075, 53109Y2. What they're engaging in criminal activity, wearing your commercial logos, commercial vehicles. But let me be clear, they're not ignorant of that. All right, this is just prosecuting every method employed and the ways in which that you will be prosecuted for those methods employed, including using minions, minor children, 8UJJ233. It is 9:36 a.m. and what I'm showing in the video is the absence of the state's fake sun over 7-Eleven at 204 North Euclid Avenue, where it is remaining at this time, where I'm showing you Upland Police are pacing in a parking lot in relevant position under directed light under the fake sun. All right, and where third parties such as Pepsi, Ryder, United States Postal Service, where I'm showing you at this time the state is keeping its fake sun, not only in Ontario, that's impossible, but I'm documenting Upland right now. And you have what is, I'm also in Fontana, I've documented this before at the same time. This is the state keeping its fake sun over me, stalking with light, while you're also looking at what is directed light, not sunlight, while they're driving by. It has absolutely nothing to do with that light activity. These are demons. Engaging in the P.O.C. And these same demons were stalking in the bathroom stall yet again with knowledge of your documentation, all right? They are monitoring everything that you publish. And ongoing conduct is not speaking to the ignorance of your documentation. It's speaking to a violent sex offender to be prosecuted every commercial actor, every government actor, and every third party acting in their individual capacity, stalking in that bathroom stall, engaging in terrorism in that bathroom stall, while you want to talk about inventory and flashing directed light. All right, it doesn't get any more demented than that, and that's Vons, not a family store, okay? Sexual, violent psychopaths that are stalking with a government, where, by the way, the state is hovering over that venue in airplanes, all right? License 6AGN246. Six GKE 643, APVT 2. I want to say it's 727, 6588 7V2, 7572. I can't see that one. 31 PROVB. Hilarious. Here's a proverb for you: don't get documented stalking with the government. SKIKI 8 RFC 183. Omnitrans, you already know, 14750. I can't really see that one, but you've already seen the directed light that they routinely molest with and assault with, occurring again at the intersection of Foothill and Euclid Avenue at 9:39 a.m. That is speaking to the demon possession of that entire company. While I'm speaking to what is demonic activity, demon possession of the state, I'm revealing the criminal conduct that the California is engaging in. But let me be clear, as you break it down, you're talking about the randomness of the vehicles of Omnitrans that I'm documenting, and they're all engaging in that same impossible conduct. That's not a coincidence. It is indeed demon possession that I'm speaking to, and it is indiscriminate. All right? This is demonic activity, and it doesn't matter whether you're in a commercial vehicle, but the Omnitrans, you need to know that about that company. Every single last one. This is a company ran by, employed by, managed by, all right? The demon possessed, 55731D2. And I'm documenting their criminal conduct while they're engaging in that demonic activity, monitoring an American citizen, sexually violating an American citizen. 8KRJ142, 8UKE649, 7XQF563, 8WEN261, 8PDZ397, 8FEN672, 49801C1, and engaging in terrorism. 7XQT249, 8BPF173, 6SCY209, 7XNN573, 8KTV373. It's 9:41 a.m. All right, crawling around like cockroaches at this end of the parking lot. 8CMY334, 6Z01855. This is what activity built up wherever I am. 18495T1. And Cisco is in relevant position. 7FZZ713. And going onto the grounds of true Jesus. It's not a true, they are not worshiping no true Jesus, and this ain't no true Jesus follower. License MAVSGMA, demon possessed grandma. Okay? P.O.C. Let me show you another. Alrighty, capturing what is another non-church. You need to understand what is going on in the state of California. This is First Presbyterian Church. It's not a real church. You've got grandma that is engaging in demonic activity, okay? And grandma is under the fake sun. Grandma is stalking with activity. Let me tell you something. Grandma is demon possessed, entering nothing but a venue that is called First Presbyterian Church at Euclid Avenue, while the state is also stalking, flying over the venue in airplanes, engaging in demonic activity. It doesn't matter what you call your venue. It doesn't matter what you call yourself. I just want to make sure I document that. I already documented grandma's license plate on video. You're looking at what is the demon possessed at a venue that identifies itself as a church. That's the ongoing POC. It's nothing shocking. All right, nothing shocking. You need to understand what's going on in California. Let me also let you know, this First Presbyterian non-church, it's not a church. All right, this is a sanctuary of Satan. All right. The address is 869 on Euclid. I'm sorry, it's not Foothill, it's Euclid. 869 Euclid Avenue. All right, maintaining a little preschool, teaching the little demons. All right, this is demonic activity, and this is the reality of the darkness that pervades in California, calling themselves whatever they want to call themselves while they're practicing demonic activity systematically as a people. All right, that's not a church. And the true church is not practicing demonic activity, not engaging in public corruption with the government. And that's literally what they're doing and what I just documented at First Presbyterian at 869 Euclid Avenue in Upland, California. That's P.O.C. at nothing but a venue where demonic activity underway. It's 9:48 a.m. All right, monitoring at third-party facilitating venue 825 Euclid Avenue. Operation of communication device on the sidewalk in front of 825, stalking in the path, with United States Postal Service remaining present at what is 11th? Yeah, 11th. Sitting in the vehicle in operation of their communication devices, United States Postal Service at 11th Street, stalking in the path, while the fake sun is moving in alignment with me as I'm walking south on Euclid. All right, it is... all right, and I did capture that. That is stalking in the path. And you have operation of their communication device in the state's directed light. That's federal stalking. That's also the evidence of that. License 8NAA618. 7NWX596. 7HXE257. 8UDH408. 7DQX994. And that U.S. Postal Service vehicle is 4312798, loitering in relevant position at third-party facilitating venue 803 Euclid Avenue in Upland, at the intersection of 11th and Euclid, 8VHW054. I can't really see that one. 92008 OR2, I believe, but I can't see that one that clearly. You can scratch that. It's 9:50 a.m. I'm walking south on Euclid Avenue. 3991H2 or 39991H2. BRANLIN. CLP 260, 7VIU 969, 6TJT 831, 5DRE 479, I'm sorry, that's 5DER 479, 5WMV 775. 99357G3, 98229K2, 7YER556. Directed light across the house while they're driving by, and across the cars. 8GFS256. They're demons. All right, this is how you have that everywhere you go. 8TDW950, this is demonic activity in California. 8VWV731, 7MCU799, 8Y47159, 6YKU077, 6KBB797, 6NYB950, 6MLL861. 8JJF 514, 34914E3, 8TGJ 514, 6WKJ 030, 6KWS 019, 5MRR 485, 6ZLC 968, 7UQE 710, 7EDT 222, 8TZA 131, Aramark, license 63797B2, engaged in kidnapping, intentionally present in the environment. I'm going to prosecute them. They were directly engaged in kidnapping. 8TGJ 512, multiple acts of kidnapping with the sheriff. License 7FEL 499, 7WWN 665, 5MXL 654, 8HXX 084, 8PSD 692, 7149 2Z1, 8HEU 755, 6V1, I'm sorry, 6V71983. Did you already press did you? Let's see, 4LKG 787, 8H, let me get this one, 8HUA 438, 8VJC 411, FR 937 handicap, 3NTY 1ST, 8GAS 923, 7AVT 794, 7LVS 210, I believe I read that one, in case I didn't. There you go. 83075B3, 8HRU 412, Operation Communication Device and Directed Light, 8AIU 448. That's what all of them are doing, okay? They're monitoring. 8AQL 175, and they're demons that are monitoring. It is 9:58 a.m. All right, stalking with light, using their reverse lights in the middle of the intersection. 50586B2. It's not a traffic pileup. They're stalking in the path together. All right, they are of one demonic mind, okay? This is the nature of demonic activity. Alrighty, I just want to show in video, that's what I did. You have the demons of the United States Postal Service, 8LSK 904, under the fake sun, traveling south to get to, I'm going to cross the street right now, 8FEH 979 to get to Upland, the Upland Public Library. Suppose you drive, license 95660V1. Also, their facilitating venue they use for federal stalking and terrorism as well on Holt Boulevard. Operated by a driver, African-American male, and a Latino male. Operation of the communication devices in directed light, using this commercial vehicle to stalk in the path. And again, that's license 95660V1. Suppose you drive. License 7WNB 805. Their facilitating venue where I was subject to federal stalking, JAKESJK, crossing path again. License 8JVC 697 is on Holt Boulevard, like I stated. And when I was coming for specifically Mayfair Inn, and I was at that inn where the state was keeping its fake scent over Mayfair Inn, and I want to be clear, that's not even similar to ever being remaining over what was Holt Boulevard in Euclid, where the state kept its fake scent over the Stater Brothers, over the Ontario Ovid Family Community Library. I documented this, and this is where the state was keeping its fake scent then. And it's the same thing with the Economy Inn. Not even similar, impossible to coexist with keeping its fake scent over the Ontario Ovid Family Community, wherever I was at that area, and then I would go from to a different location. The state kept its fake scent, just like I showed you this morning. Keeping it over Vaughn's, it's not possibly coexisting with already documented conduct of keeping its fake scent over the 7-Eleven, which is a prime example. Still at this time, I'm documenting how, as I remain at 630 North Fern in Ontario, and the state's fake scent is over that house, which is a venue. All right, and I'm showing you what is keeping its fake scent over Vaughn's, because those are the demon possessed, as you're also looking at the documentation and you're seeing what's demonic conduct, all right, with this light while they're stalking in the path, all right, intentionally engaging in that conduct where that demonic activity is underway, and the demon possessed are engaging in federal stalking. And they're operating their communication devices in directed light. That's direct evidence of that as well, right? This is not ordinary light. And I've already documented this is what the people of the state were engaging in as I started documenting them, not knowing yet that the state was stalking me with a light source, keeping it over my head while they were all congregating around wherever I was at, stopping me in my tracks, stopping in front of me. Like, they would block my, they were so bold before they were
afflicted with the concept of documentation, okay? I'll be walking out of a Walmart, for example, and you'll have a group stalker that'll just stop right in front of me, and I mean a freak weirdo, stop right in front of me, has this weird smile on their face while they're just looking down. They're not looking at me, but they block my path, looking down, vigorously like typing stuff on their phone, like they're typing a text message or something, and they're just like looking down at their phone while they were blocking my path, operating the communication device. What's the surrounding facts? The state was stalking with a fake sun. All right, the state was surrounding me with directed light. Well, they would engage in stalking in the path in that regard, all right? And this is the ongoing threat that is waged. But as I document the demon possessed, the pattern of conduct is exposing itself. So this is the reality. As they engage in this demented conduct, they were constantly revealing what they were doing. And all I did was observe it and document it and understand that this is a very specific pattern. It is a specific pattern of what are the demon possessed. That's what I already knew. This is demonic at its source, but they are engaging in that which is in violation of law, and that's what I'm going to document. And I'm also going to expose that these are not ordinary criminals. This is that which is, first of all, the government is operating. Second of all, this is demon possession by that government and the people of the state. This is entirely demented, all right, and terrorism on many fronts, okay? But you have what is absolute, deranged in the mind with regard to the plain animation of Satan upon people, all right? This is what is operating over them, and this is with Satan that was blatantly exposing itself through people. These are the demon-possessed, and this is before they were really familiar or they even cared about documentation. Understand they care now. They try to act so, but they can't. That where they are, the circumstances under which they are, and where they are, and how they do, that's all revealed. They don't have any form. They don't have any form at all. And that is also how you're looking at the psychopath. Okay? You're talking about a straight up violent sex offender with their pants caught down, if you will. Because that's exactly what's ongoing. While you're stalking in the bathroom and while you're stalking outside of a bathroom and you want to talk about inventory, that's called audible activity in what is flashing directed light under that which is not the sun, in concert with a government that is stalking with plane and helicopters via law enforcement. All right, that's the P.O.C. All right, but you're understanding while they engage in that, feigning normalcy, which they can't. You're not feigning normalcy. You're showing that you're a psychopath, and this is what I've been speaking to. You're going to prosecute for that. That's called terrorism. That's the terrorism of the entity that knows it's being documented. That's a psychopath and a violent sex offender. At Upland Public Library at 10:05 a.m. P.O.C. Venue filled with directed light. Fake sun is over the venue.
All right, 12:23 p.m. I am capturing images of what is the back of Satan, utilizing this female who's group stalking in study room number 3. I'm in study room number 1, and I'm also showing you, even though I've already established what is a P.O.C., you already know that the state's fake sun is over the Upland Public Library, and I've also shown you what is the impossibility, how this is directed light that's inside, covering the entirety of the inside of this library, because the state is stalking with its light source that is not the sun. And so while at the same time it is the object itself is physically over in a different city. Okay, because while I'm inside and the state is keeping its fake sun over the ceiling of the Upland Public Library, suggesting that this is sunlight because you're looking at what's supposed to be the sun, not over, but hovering over the library, which would, if it was actually the sun, set the building on fire. But aside from that, you were talking about, as I have captured, what is the absence of that light source, which is not the sun, in entirely different cities, maintaining that central presence over my head. For example, when I'm at 630 North Fern Avenue at 10 o'clock in the morning, it's not over the Upland Public Library. And I'm showing you what is the state's fake sun over this Upland Public Library. And this is that which is also not sunlight, while the state is failing at demonstrating that is sunlight. Also, you're also remembering what is the established pattern of conduct. The state is stalking with a light source and directed light, two distinct methods of stalking with light, which is the practicing of demonic activity. And so I'm showing you what is the ongoing environment. Like I've said, I've already established this. The state has its fake sun, the entirety of that object in perfect alignment with me remaining over the vehicle as I am traveling from Upland Public Library to the city of Ontario, to the San Bernardino Department of Human Services at 1627 East Holt in Ontario, after remaining, and that would never happen, actually, if I had isolated documentation to just Upland, California. But we don't have that. We have even more than that. We have what is the ongoing documentation of stalking with light, even in Ontario and Los Angeles, Azusa, etc. But the state is keeping its fake sun in Ontario. So you're remembering that while I'm documenting what is the fake sun in Upland. And you're remembering that what the state is doing in Upland while it goes from leaving that venue of the Upland. Remember, this day, and the day I'm specifically referencing is a couple of days ago where I specifically did not enter the venue of the Upland Public Library, remained in the parking lot, documenting Upland police who are stalking at the Carnegie Library where the fake sun is over the Carnegie Library. And why? Because I had not yet entered the Upland Public Library yet. And then as I enter, after 1 p.m., after going to the San Bernardino County Department of Human Services, the state's fake sun is documented in perfect alignment with me, leaving from Upland over the vehicle to Ontario, literally as she's driving down the streets, Euclid Avenue to Hope Boulevard, and you have what is in perfect alignment with me in the parking spot in the parking lot of 1627 East Holt, and this is impossible to coexist as I'm capturing the fake sun directly over the ceiling remaining over Upland Public Library. All right. And so this is mutually exclusive as I've documented both Ontario and I'm documenting Upland. This is clearly stalking with a light source. I've already established what this group stalker is doing, what Satan is doing through this female with a high bun on her head while she's in relevant position in operation of a communication device in directed light. She's engaged in federal stalking. She's engaged in terrorism while the state is filling study room number 1 with noise as I engage in new abrupt physical movement. Okay, that's demonic activity. That's terrorism at the venue. This is terrorism that she is engaging in demonic activity while Satan literally purposefully has her back to me in the event that I tape Satan's picture and you see her face. Okay, that's what this is. That's a defensive posture. All right, knowledge that they're being documented, a psychopath and a sex offender and a stalker. All right, in that demonic environment, engaging in terrorism while the state is maintaining a soundtrack inside of study room number 1, while she's stalking in the path inside of study room number 3. That's what I took images of, and I'm going through that context because you're remembering. You're not forgetting what is the environment that they are in while I'm documenting what is a group stalking. That's the government in study room number 3. In the same way, that's the government that was surrounding in the parking lot while those demons, and that's exactly what I'm pointing out. The government is practicing demonic activity, all right? The government is engaging in what is stalking and doing so while practicing what is satanic stalking activity, all right? Targeting one that is not demon-possessed. I'm not a part of that demonic camp, and the government is engaging in, literally, to put it in the vernacular, engaging in the duties, the focus of Satan, which are those whom Satan cannot have, and that's me. And I'm revealing what are the secrets of the demon possessed. There's no secret, and you're talking about stalking in the path. It's the exact same pattern of conduct inside. It's the engineered light inside of the venue, as opposed to all over the asphalt and the curbs and the buildings while they're driving around in their cars and walking all around me. This is what she's doing inside, all right? And that's just one, because they're hiding behind the book stacks. They're working in the environment, in this venue, utilizing the book stacks as their form for stalking in the path while they're doing the exact same thing, all right? Under the fake sun and in directed light. In operation of their communication devices in directed light, all right? Those are federal charges. This is P.O.C. at Upland Public Library. Just wanted to document that while she is stalking in the path and the state is engaged. That's terrorism while that demonic environment is maintained, all right? Maintaining ongoing noise inside of any space where you're at is a practicing of demonic conduct, just any sort of random noise, all right? And it occurs with simultaneity to what you are physically doing and what you are doing on a communication device. This is the focus of the demon-possessed while they are engaging in federal stalking. And you have how are the librarians doing that? They're pacing. These are demons that are pacing in that demonic environment, and they use this door right out here, which again, everything they're doing is amplified. So as they are pacing, these are demons that are pacing back and forth in the environment with simultaneity to what I am physically doing and what I am doing on the internet, all right? And using this door right here by study room number 1 as a means of amplified audible activity. Everything that they are doing is at a louder volume, all right? So this is demonic activity, this is terrorism, this is federal stalking, all right? And this is the demons engaging in the maintenance of that presence to that same ongoing real-time knowledge. And that, I want to be clear, just like I'm showing you at the venue of what is Vaughn's at the Foothill Town Center, that follows you to whatever venue. This is the government following from place to place. This is the big picture of what I'm documenting. And this is the same exact pattern of conduct at this venue, which is the Upland Public Library, where the state went from 630 North Fern in Ontario, remaining over the vehicle, traveling north to Vaughn's at 81 West Foothill, the Foothill Town Center, All right, that's where the Vons is, inside of that shopping center, because Vons is not the only sex offender. Vons is the venue that are directly engaging in stalking inside of that bathroom, engaging in surrounding with activity creation, the venue where the state is maintaining presence by plane and helicopter. But let me be clear, Chase Bank, Uptown and Country, this is relevant positioning and monitoring with communication devices. The entity is monitoring on a massive scale. All right, I'm documenting the sex offender as they are engaging in violation at that particular venue, which is Vons, which is acting on behalf of the entirety of the entity, vicariously representing the government that I also captured flying over that venue. The state is doing the same thing while, like I said, my panties are down and they're engaging in stalking and flashing light. Flashing light is never occurring inside of the depths of a hallway inside of that store. All right, you've got directed light entering onto the floor space inside of the covering of that entrance walkway. You have the fake sun over that venue. You have what is directed light flashing on the walls inside of that venue. This is the government's venue. All right, the government is stalking in the bathroom. The government is present inside of study room number 3. The government is engaging in terrorism and stalking in the path through the people filling the venue of the Upland Public Library. This is the pattern of conduct underway, and that's P.O.C. It is 12:31 p.m. Oh, I want to draw some other point. What you are understanding, what you should be understanding, but perhaps not. Let me connect the dots for you. You also know that this is engineered light, directed light, not only because of what I've demonstrated with regard to stalking with a light source and the state in failing, but trying to posit that this is the sun. And I've shown in every which way that this is not the sun. And so what you're going to do is you're going to prosecute with that mockery, which is terrorism, while they're stalking with a light source. The state is engaging in stalking with a light source, which is supposed to be the sun. And following would be that the state is suggesting that this is sunlight that surrounds you. That's implausible. I've shown you what directed light is in molestation with directed light, terrorism via directed light. And the state is filling the venue with directed light. You also know that this is directed light, not only because of what is the absence of the light source necessarily, as I'm in a different city at a different venue, and while at the same time it's documented remaining present over the ceiling of the venue, over D Street. This is Upland Public Library I'm focusing on, which also is demonstrating that that's not the sun, because the actual sun is not remaining, to the neglect of the rest of the, and I mean, you're talking about there's one sun. There's not a sun for every state in the United States. The United States is not the only country that is getting sunlight, that is going to have the sun moving over. But this is what the state is doing, okay? The public entity that's stalking with a light source, that's practicing demonic activity. That's also how you know that that's not sunlight. But what you also know is because what I've shown you inside of the venue, where you're looking at the same demonic light conduct with double shadows, the engineered light as it hits surfaces, that's not sunlight. That's also how you know that that's not sunlight. Okay, so I just wanted to bring that to your to the forefront of your mind as well. And the demon-possessed stalker, who knows that she's being documented, who's hearing every word that I'm speaking about her. I'm not just speaking about her. I'm speaking about the entity that she is acting in concert with and on behalf of, and the public entity that is present through her stalking presence in study room number 3. Puts on a brown hoodie, okay? It is 12:34 p.m. That's P.O.C. Thank you. Yep. All right, that is pacing, first of all. The tall Caucasian male, he's surrounded by directed light, and I'm also showing you what is the fake sun that is over that part of the building where I'm showing you in the ceiling, because I'm coming from the study room. The state moves its fake sun, keeping directed light, cycling it inside of that area of the library, and you're looking at what is the maintenance of directed light in the venue while you're present. Okay, so this is clearly also directed light, because when I'm in the city of Fontana and the state is keeping its fake sun over the roof of that venue, over the parking lot as I move from that venue and back and forth, it's over the bus, through the window while I'm traveling en route. This is not the sun that's remaining over the ceiling. That is not sunlight. And if the actual sun was over the sky space, it would not be hovering over the building. This is not directed light that's moving upwards toward the ceiling and over the walls and the doors into the depths of both sides of the library itself. This is the state targeting the venue with its engineered light. This is also the same venue where the state is engaging in its directed light, the same pattern of conduct through cracks of the door while you're opening the bathroom door. That's what I showed you. And if you're looking at that video that I showed you, that's speaking to what is sexual violence, the engineered light, okay? That is sunlight that is not creeping through the bathroom door as you're opening it. It's not swiping in front of you while you open the door. It's not swiping behind you inside of the bathroom as you are opening up that door. like I documented yesterday. You have what is the video that I captured while the state is covering the door with engineered light. This is the state's directed light that is not just piercing through, that's concentrated light on the floor through the crack of that door, the hinge of the door, but you also are looking at what is light that is spreading. That's not merely through that crack of the door. That's that state's engineered light. All right. This is the state's engineered light that is present while that demon, he's in operation of a laptop. He engages in this pacing conduct as I exit study room number 1. He's on a communication device in directed light that is surrounding. The group stalker with the brown hoodie on, she's maintaining presence in study room number 3. They're all maintaining presence, but I'm speaking to as I'm walking out and as they are engaging in presence, maintaining stalking in the path in that deliberately placed light under that light source. This is demonic activity while they are engaging in what is federal stalking with communication devices. And this is literal demonic activity while this tall male, this tall white guy, this is a demon-possessed stalker who's monitoring on a communication device. And he is surrounded by that which is not sunlight. He's in the state's environment and pacing back and forth. This is federal stalking by the demon-possessed. And that's what I'm taking pictures of. He's walking back and forth. And he gets up and he starts doing that as I'm exiting study room number 1. And I'm showing you what's the fake sun that's directly above, the engineered light that is all around. Walking down the stairs is crossing path. Sitting at that circulation desk is stalking in the path in alignment, while the state is amplifying the sound of traffic through the library. The same thing where it's amplifying the sound of planes, amplifying the sound of sirens, amplifying the sound of the Metrolink train. These are the methods of audible activity while the demon-possessed are maintaining presence in the engineered light. This is demonic conduct underway, what I'm capturing, okay? And the sexually violent threat of the state that is monitoring the documentation and engages in more of that sexual violence as you document and expose them as a sex offender, aiming its directed light onto the bathroom doors. You're going to pay attention to the totality of my documentation where the state was not aiming it specifically on the bathroom door. As I hone in on the sexual violence, the state engages in more and more specific conduct to heighten that sexual violence as they engage in it. What the state is doing with light is the state's pattern of conduct of stalking with light, and you are analyzing what is the criminal that is engaging in that criminal conduct, that terrorizing conduct, that stalking conduct inside of a private space where they're engaging in surveillance, they're engaging in the criminal elements of monitoring, which is terrorism, while they are listening and corporately invading privacy, aware of when your panties are down, creating audible activity, entering and exiting, manning the path inside of that, engaging in all manner of that conduct inside of the private space. And that's what you're prosecuting for. All right. You are doing nothing but stalking in directed light under the fake sun in concert with the government that's stalking by plane, helicopter, and law enforcement, fire and ambulance. They are manning the path on the inside, just like I'm showing you how the demon possessed are manning the path outside in the same environment in directed light under the fake sun. All right. It is 1 p.m. That's P.O.C. at Upham Public Library. All right, it is 1:04 p.m. This is moments after I just showed you what are images of not only the tall white male in operation of his communication device. He's got a laptop and he's pacing. That's the demonic pacing. That's the outward demonstration of demon possession in that environment. He's pacing on a cell phone, and he does it as I get up and exit study room number 1. I'm showing you I'm taking pictures of the environment that he's pacing in, and the fake sun is on that side. That would be the west side of the staircase directly above me while I'm taking pictures of that demon pacing around on a cell phone. I'm walking now in the restroom. It's 1:04 p.m. when I'm capturing the images of what is the fake sun on the east side of the staircase, directly in alignment over my head while I am in front of the bathroom. I'm taking images of what is engineered light inside of the restroom, behind the door while it's open, okay? This is light that is not coming through the crack of the door while you're opening it. That's the state's engineer light, and you're also looking at what is the clear migration of the state's fake sun from both sides of the library. Moments earlier, when I'm by that demon that's pacing on a cell phone, it's right there over my head. As I cross the opposite side to the opposite side of the library, you're talking about within moments, while it's keeping its fake sun all day over the venue, this is vacillating from side to side, following as I move, and that's sexual violence. They are all of the third parties that I just took images of are engaging in monitoring in a bathroom, engaging in creating audible activity, pacing around in this demonic light. These are demons that are monitoring corporately, monitoring on communication devices, and stalking one inside of that private space. And this is why the light is stalked. The state is stalking. This is the stalker personified into the bathroom.
and I'm showing you what is the clear presence. And so I'm going to publish these pictures so you can look at them. That is, not only is this not the sun, it's 1:06 p.m. So we could just use the last example when I'm still at the San Bernardino County building. I'm still not even inside of the Upland Public Library, where I'm clearly showing you as I enter that county building and as I exit that county building, the state's fake sun is remaining over that venue. It remains over the vehicle as I'm traveling back to Upland Public Library. It is 1:06 p.m. and I had yet to return back to the Upland Public Library. This is just days ago. All right. And you have what is the state that is stalking as I am moving step by step inside of the venue, going from the east side to the west side of the staircase. This is what I'm showing while that indeed demon is pacing back and forth and monitoring on a communication device. And as I go this way, the state engaging in communication of a sexually violent threat, aiming light inside of the bathroom, which is impossible light activity under that which is not the sun, and doing so with knowledge of everywhere that you document about their criminal conduct. Let me be clear, they're monitoring in the bathroom right now. The state's venue is present. This is the state's venue. This isn't the Upland Public Library. This is a state facilitating venue where federal stalking and inherent to that is sexual violence by the government is underway. All right, it's 1:07 p.m. and that's what I captured in images, and I'm going to be publishing that so you can see that clear, distinct movement of that light source from that side of the staircase where that demon's pacing around me. And then as I walked to the bathroom, I went back to the study room. As you heard, you hear me say thank you, because she's opening up the locked study room that I'm inside of. And so I exit moments later, and the state's fake sun is not over in front of that demon that's pacing in front of me. All right. The state's fake sun is right over my head in alignment with me at the bathroom door, where I'm also capturing directed light inside of the bathroom while I'm opening the door. Absolutely impossible light activity. That is the hallmark. All right. As I've already established it, what am I pointing out now? The fact that, number one, this is a ceaseless sex offense. I'm documenting more today. I documented more of those engaging in that ongoing sex offense. They're not separate because they're on Euclid and Foothill crossing path under that same exact fake sun and in directed light, engaging in that terrorism there. That terrorism is ongoing, and they are sex offenders in that regard, in their commercial vehicles and in the vehicles where I'm specifically identifying that demon by name. All right. You also have what is documenting what is specific sexual violence and all the ways that it is engaged in what is the government's venue. You're not operating as an individual anymore. You're not operating as that business. You don't have any constitutional right to maintain presence vicariously on behalf of a government that is a sex offender and is a stalker, and where you are participating in that. And this is because they are all together. These are demons that are engaging in criminal conduct together. All right. It's 1:08 p.m. P.O.C. All right. I took images of the ongoing stalking. This is what I mean by the stalking and this is demonic activity. These are demon-possessed individuals acting collectively as the entity. This is the government that's practicing demonic activity while they're engaging in criminal conduct of federal stalking. And this third party engages in the pattern that the people engage in, which includes coming out of the blue, meaning you're already stalking in the path. This third party stands behind this little metal box over here at the library where I am, and does so the moment that I am logged onto the internet. And I'm actually, what I'm doing is I'm just so you know, for purposes of what is federal stalking and the focus that these demons have on what's going on the internet, they're monitoring. Okay, but this is a demon that crosses path and stands in alignment to me, and does so coming out of the blue, coming from right behind. And understand, he just takes 2 steps to get in the path. So this is one that's already stalking, aware of what I'm doing on my phone. The moment that I get on the internet to get into my account and log out of my Google account, this is where he stands in a relevant position to me, in alignment, in perfect alignment. All right. And is standing behind the metal box. I took a picture of that. And I'm also showing you what is the environment that I'm in. The state's environment is present. All right. And this is my double shadows in front of me while I'm being molested with directed light. All right. That's the conduct of the people of the state. And this is what I mean when I am describing what is coming out of the blue. And what I mean by coming out of the blue is visually coming out of the blue, because they are stalking continuously. They come into sight where they're hiding around bushes. You're literally doing that, and you're doing that in planes as well. That's how you're able to engage in that knee-jerk conduct of coming out of the blue visually in order to cross path. And that's what that is. This is demonic activity. That's a demon-possessed individual standing in alignment that is monitoring conduct as well. Okay, it is 6:11 p.m. That's what I took pictures of. I am now leaving the library. License 7TXZ685 8CHD 643 P.O.C. All right, that's OPD, license 1591669, vehicle 1022, group stalking in directed light, using roads and the highways, engaging in federal stalking, and this is terrorism. This is a demon-possessed agency engaging in stalking in the path, and intentionally so. And remember, everything that I'm publishing on the internet, everything on my documentation, the entity is paying attention to that, and that's audible activity, and they're engaging in conduct with knowledge of that. This is a psychopath that's going to be prosecuted, and I'm bringing to the forefront, understand what they do as they do it. It's also with knowledge with what I'm publishing, okay? And doing so in concert with the third party in whose vehicle I'm in right now. It's 6:17 p.m. at G Street and Euclid Avenue. 8 LSW 535, 7MZK 569, 7936. I can't really see that one. Let me see. I just want to read the license plates of third parties who are monitoring with OPD because the entity is acting together. 8AKC600. 8L53566. Monitoring at Holmes and G Street. This is where I'm at, and they're lining the path in their third-party facilitating venues where they live. Passing Cucamonga, stalking at the liquor store, maintaining light at the streets, and they're aiming light just like I showed you. This is directed light that they're aiming toward the vehicle, stalking in the path using their vehicles. All of these homes in relevant position, monitoring right now. We're driving at approaching Grove on G Street. This is P.O.C. It's 6:20 p.m. License 8HZN452, 7YDR729. All right, and that is speaking to the absence of any shelter. Again, demonstrating again, there is no shelter in what is a venue. First of all, these venues are in directed light, and they are stalking in the path as I'm driving through the neighborhoods while they're stalking with light, which is directed light, okay? This is P.O.C. And again, this is G Street, and I'm passing again Del Norte, stalking in the path with light. This entire venue, they're monitoring. All of these are venues where they live. P.O.C. Monitoring at Avante, the venue that I already documented, and they're already documented as a means of where I was working, and I was subject to federal stalking at that property as well. But I went through and documented them, and they're monitoring as well right now. It is 6:22 p.m. while we're crossing path. All right, that's another venue. The entirety of the venue is ongoing while the state covers the grounds with what is directed light, and they stalk in the path with directed light. All right. 6:22 p.m. for the exit. Ontario Police Group stalking inside of the plaza. Vehicle 1841, license 1496945, 153294. Can't really see it. At the same place where I was asked, "What do you want to eat?" Yoshinoya. Ontario Police Group stalking in the parking plaza of Yoshinoya. All right, the Bombay Banquet Hall, third-party facilitating venue. Subway, Lux Spa, Bombay Restaurant Cuisine in India. This is Circle K, which I've also documented as well, under the fake sun, by the way. All right, coming from the Ramada, where the fake sun was staying over that venue. 8XRX631, 8HZX842, 8VEJ387, 6UOW400, 7PTY108, 5UFG763, CPD 159, Arizona. It's 6:24 p.m. All right, this is the ongoing conduct of the demon-possessed. This is Ontario Police. This is a demon-possessed agency that I've heavily documented, and they're going to federal prison. This is ongoing documentation speaking to that requirement as a matter of justice. Their presence is intentional. The environment is deliberately present. All right, there is no form, and what they have done and they are doing now is no question. This is speaking to those who are going to federal prison. That's Ontario Police who are group stalking right now, communicating an unlawful threat, engaging in terrorism with the demon-possessed entity that are the people of the state. P.O.C. 5UFG763. Operation of communication device, indirected light. Monitoring with the police who are stalking in the path as well inside of the plaza. No, let's go this way. 8VEJ387. See. 7XRB556. Indirected light. Ginormous shadow. 7YSF945. Ontario PD are here monitoring, okay? 8YFA357, 7YAG125, 7HWJ611, and touching is 7PTY108. Going out of their way to touch. That's an old white biddy engaging in demonic activity, touching with the Ontario Police. P.O.C. 8RID343. It's 6:34. Monitoring through the buildup of traffic on Vineyard. It's relevant positioning as they're lining the perimeter of the street. All right, at the Yoshinoya still, inside of the plaza where the Circle K is. This is P.O.C. It's 6:34 p.m. And that's P.O.C. and the environment is present. Let me be clear. Those demon-possessed stalkers of the Ontario PD going out of their way to be documented. They're going to federal prison, and I'm denoting this ongoing conduct. They're going. That's exactly where they're going. That's P.O.C. 635. All right, the rest of those, the vehicle 1884 is license 1532794, 1591670. That's vehicle number. I can't see that vehicle number, but there's three of them that are parked. All right, in relevant position, and that's a communication of a threat, even as the demon-possessed actors are not physically in the vehicles. Understand what the entity is engaging in. The environment is present. It's 8MQM209, 8VJJ566. 8FZW463. Identifying singers, license 1430729. That's California Highway Patrol group stalking outside of the same parking lot in directed light. Okay, where the in and out is. P.O.C. 58QR948 4YWX315 5KRH564. These demons are just patrolling in through the parking lot of the Rite Aid. 4DTE264, 6CAX776, 4HCN648, 6EWE635, 5740283, 7VYX134, 6TZX979, 4PDY397, 6GDE724, 8HLW324, 5SXT617, 6NEF890, 8WQH640, 4XRG567, 05170L1. And this one coming over to meet and crossing path, and they're driving in directed light. Yeah, and if homeboy ain't American citizen, 8TOP122 needs to be booted up out of this country. He's monitoring an American citizen and molesting. And being a demon-possessed stalker. License, 7:02 p.m. entering inside of Giant Variety Store now. All right, a couple of notes as to the ongoing pattern of conduct by the state that is stalking an American citizen inside of a vehicle where, in concert with the people of the state of California, all of whom are demon-possessed, and are engaging in stalking conduct while light is being directed. This is the state's engineered light that I've demonstrated is in existence, is a instrumental and integral aspect of the sexual violence and the criminal pattern of conduct of monitoring with communication devices, as it is also terrorism, while the demon-possessed stalk in the path and stalk in concert with this light. Doing so pursuant to the demonic behavioral pattern of pursuant to my physical movement, simultaneity to that, and simultaneity to what I'm doing on the internet. This is the federal stalking by the demon-possessed, and this is the government engaging in demonic activity. So while I am inside of the vehicle at 630 North Fern, the state engaging in monitoring, and so I uploaded 5 JPEG images. These are essentially the images that I already documented were occurring while I'm at Upland Public Library, where you've got this demon-possessed stalker that stalks in the path, and this is what the state has been doing. Is flying over in multiple airplanes. This is audible activity while the psychopath is listening to me upload this on my podcast. Flying right over Fern. Directed light remains, and the state is also aiming directed light horizontally inside of the car and molesting my breasts, molesting my person, and engaging in activity creation on the vehicle as though they're dropping metal items on the car with simultaneity to my physical movement and activity on the communication device. This is what I'm documenting, for example, when I'm inside of the library, and I told you about the demon-possessed stalker that was inside of study room number 3 while the state was creating ongoing noise inside of that study room. That's what the state is doing inside of the car. Okay, this is the P.O.C. as you go from venue to venue. That's terrorism. While they are stalking and engaging in what is sexual violence while I'm being molested, I am surrounded with directed light. All right, this is demonic conduct. It is terrorism, as I'm documenting it, while a government is stalking someone inside of a vehicle that is currently a transit. That's what the government is doing. Okay, I'm going to prosecute for that. That's the psychopath. That's the stalker. And that's how important I am. Okay, and I'm not saying that to
amp myself up. I don't need that sort of motivation in life. I am speaking to the reality of what is a psychopath, and that psychopath is in operation by virtue of what is demon possession. Demon possession of those in government, demon possession of the people of the state who are together practicing what is demonic activity. And this demonic activity is engagement in the three criminal elements that are light activity, which is audible, visible, and or sensational, and relevant positioning. This is the demon possessed that are maintaining presence all around you. That is the group stalking. And you have what is the third element, which is the conduct that is engaged in by the state acting directly. This is the state stalking by helicopter. This is the state stalking in government airplanes. This is the state stalking commercially, third parties using their commercial airline planes. That is the federal charge that will be attributed to all those documented. This is the entity itself, though, as it is provided instrumentalities of federal stalking, interstate commerce, that is, of airplanes to engage in this unthinkable terrorism, right, which is a threat to the life. That's what these third parties are going to be prosecuted for, engaging in the provision of such instrumentalities of federal stalking, which is perpetuating an ongoing threat to the life of that American citizen. While they are indubitable, there is no doubt that this is the pattern of conduct, and that is what those planes are provided for, and they are documented and engaged in that pattern of conduct in that ongoing environment, which those planes are used in order to contribute and maintain that environment. So while I'm inside uploading what are 5 JPEG images, this takes seconds to upload on the internet. Again, I am inside of the vehicle where the entity very well knows where I am, has known where I've been for the entirety of the time, and that's what I've been documenting, the ongoing pattern of conduct. And as you look at the big picture, you're understanding what is the significance of that cumulative documentation of what is stalking with light. It's revealing what's demonic activity, and it is central, it's core to what is the people of the state that are demon possessed. These are psychopaths engaging in terrorism with the government. And while I'm uploading 5 JPEG images, I took screenshots of what is those 5 JPEG images while I'm using the browser on my phone. And let me document stalking with light with facilitating venue 630 North Fern, turning their lights on and off. This is stalking. This is light activity. They're in directed light. They are in relevant position. They are contributing to that environment, and they are inside of what is a venue, okay? Where the state is stalking by helicopter and airplanes, where the state is stalking by law enforcement, where the state is stalking with amplified audible activity, and they are in relevant position creating light activity and doing so pursuant to the same demonic behavioral pattern. That is engaging in terrorism inside of what is your venue, which is your address, which will be a matter of documentation in federal court where I will prosecute you as you use that venue for federal stalking. So anyway, it's 9:38 p.m. I just want to document that. That's what 630 North Fern is engaging in right now. With regard to monitoring on the venue of the internet, the state engaging in ongoing molestation of my person while the demon possessed are crossing path on Fern and at G Street, and with simultaneity to that stalking conduct, terrorism, while just exactly what the entity engaged in right now. And understand, as they do that, they are adding to the federal charges of that whole entity that is continuously documented. And this is the futility of that conduct. Because while you hear that stalker in the airplane, the stalker, that is the people of the state and another third party that drove by right now, while the directed light fills this car. All right, that is directed light, substantial directed light that I show you the demons are present in concert with impossible light activity. While what our demons are on the streets driving by, and you see all of that light, that's what they're doing inside of a car. The totality of that entity is going to be prosecuted for that, which again I am documenting right now at 9:39 p.m. And this is what the entity is continuously engaged in, and this is also documentation of what is the terrorizing threat that the entity is together waging while the psychopath, that is the demon-possessed government, and the people of the state are together monitoring every word that I am uttering and continuing to engage in that conduct. This is federal charges that the entirety of that entity is facing. So while that demon-possessed stalker, in other words, is flying over me, while that demon-possessed stalker is driving by me, while the demon-possessed are aiming directed light inside of this venue, every single last documented third party that I documented today, streaming all the way back to when I started itemizing, for example, on podcasts, you can go back to 2018, but even before that, they're all going to be charged for that. Okay, that's how that's going. Aiming more directed light now, while they're crossing path. That is at Fern Avenue, driving south on Fern Avenue and directed light aiming inside of the vehicle. Headlights are not proceeding across a windshield while you are, first of all, not even on the street yet. And then after you have already passed the vehicle, you still have what is directed light streaming across the windshield. And this is also what the state is doing across my breast and moving at the bottom where my feet are. I've showed you this where the fake sun is over the car. You're looking at shade and then you just see light that's disappearing where my feet are. This is the same exact directed light that these demons are crossing path while it is moving all across the surfaces, and they are just ratcheting up more federal charges. That's it. But you're talking about the documentation and the federal imprisonment of what is the terrorists, because that's what they are. This is what the demon possessed are. They're sex offenders, very violent sex offenders. They are terrorists who need to be restrained. And that's the purpose of what is documentation. It is for prescription. Many are going in straight jackets and many are going to federal prison. They are very violent thieves and kidnappers and sex offenders, as the documentation reveals them. Okay, because you're talking about a psychopath that's listening to the words being spoke about it and then engaging and repeating that conduct that is necessarily being deliberately conducted because it is not naturally occurring. And that is also proven. That's a fact. All right. And so you're talking about that which you are witnessing with your own eyes. You've already seen it. And this is documentation of that ongoing conduct. And every single last one, from suppose you drive to the Upland Police Department, City of Upland, that are driving by under the fake sun in the morning, they're being prosecuted and catching those federal charges right now at 9:41 p.m., while that same entity with which they want to engage in stalking during the day is continuously stalking during the night, stalking in the bathroom, molesting at nightfall, and during the day. They are engaging in all of that together, okay? And that's what I mean by the totality of that entity. So while Satan is driving by in these vehicles, acting via the people of the state, because that's what's wrong with the people of the state, they're demon-possessed in California. All right. And I'm prosecuting that entity while they are doing that, the entirety of that entity. This is the reality. And this is how you're prosecuting an entity. Every single last one of them are catching those federal charges together. Okay. And that's what the government is accomplishing for its own criminal partner. This is the downfall of monitoring with the government. All right. So for those of you who are not monitoring with the government, for those of you who are in another state, yet to be introduced to this sort of federal legislation, these are the federal repercussions. You are catching every whiff of those federal charges, every single last ounce of it. As one demon-possessed actor, for example, that engages in that conduct, they're doing it on your behalf. All right. And you are holding hands with that government. You're holding hands with that demon-possessed stalker that's engaging in that criminal conduct. And all of you are catching that together. All right. So just want to document that's 9:42 p.m. And that's documentation of what I'm going to now continue. While I'm on the venue of the internet and these demon-possessed actors are flying over and driving by and molesting at the same time, that sexual violence and terrorism by the entity together. All right. And done on behalf of the totality of that documented entity. You have what is monitoring on the venue of the internet, okay? And this is an excess of 50 minutes to upload 5 JPEG images. That which takes seconds to do in reality, but for monitoring by government, okay? The entity crossing path again and molesting with directed light at 9:43 p.m. And so you have what is, not only is that sexual violence, remember, that's terrorism by the psychopath that's going in straight jackets in federal prison, okay? Monitoring what I'm saying while they're engaging in that conduct. So you have what is monitoring on the venue of the internet and slowing down the ability to use internet, and with simultaneity to what I'm doing. So while I take a screenshot of this, and this is prolonging the ability to upload to about 50 minutes, all right, for five JPEG images. I take another screenshot of what is uploading of just one image. So I go to another browser. I'm uploading anyway, regardless of the fact of the entity that's monitoring, okay? And so you have, as the moment that I go to another browser and I take a screenshot of this, what is occurring at the same time that I have resumed uploading, that's operation of internet, understand that. The demon-possessed crosses path on a bike. And I've showed you the directed light on the sidewalk. This is a demon-possessed stalker who is engaging in the same conduct that I took a picture of. He's stalking on the side at the Upland Public Library while I'm using my phone. This is what they do. They come out of nowhere. This is, first of all, these are the demon possessed. They're doing the same thing in the cars, okay? Where they're driving by in directed light and the state is aiming directed light inside the vehicle. They are crossing path on foot, crossing path on a bike this time. At the same time, I'm taking a screenshot, because what I'm taking a screenshot of is how the internet is resumed while they are trying to stifle internet. So I open up a second browser to upload just one image instead of 5 altogether, because this is overwhelming the internet. That's monitoring. All right. And the demon possessed who are monitoring are hiding around in the dark, stalking like the demon possessed psychopaths that they are, flying around and driving past while this demonic environment is being maintained inside of a car. That is an egregious level of terrorism that they're going to answer for. Okay. But like I said, right now, what I took a screenshot of was the fact that I was uploading just one image and it resumes uploading on the internet. All right. So at the same time that I do that, and this is beginning the operation of internet, for uploading that JPEG, the moment I do, this demon-possessed stalker rides by on their bike, and they're doing so in directed light, okay? The state is dropping what sounds of metal on the car, okay? And this is just nothing but activity creation. It's terrorism, all right? Maintaining that environment with audible activity. It's terrorism while the demon-possessed are crossing path, coming out of nowhere, but they're really not coming out of nowhere. These are literally stalkers that are hiding around, and this is the reality of what they are doing. And that's what you are necessarily doing in order to simultaneously, at the drop of a dime, at whatever I'm doing on the internet or physically, to appear out of nowhere. You are necessarily hiding around somewhere. You're being a very, very weird stalker. And this is the entity that's terrorism. Okay? This is what the state is doing by plane and helicopter. This is what police officers are doing in vehicles and their law enforcement. This is what they are doing in fire trucks and ambulance vehicles. Okay? During the day under the fake sun. At night in directed light, all right, under the fake moon. I've showed you all of this. And while they are engaging in an ongoing act of terrorism, which I'm documenting every time that I'm documenting, it's ongoing documentation of federal stalking by the entirety of that entity, commercial actors, government actors, and the demon possessed that I identify by license plate and or address, such as those demons inhabiting 630 North Fern, who are loitering in relevant position. All right. They are not present under any First Amendment right. They are inside of what is a venue and the environment that is being maintained by the government that they are contributing to. All right. Engaging in terrorism in relevant position inside of the venue at 630 North Fern, engaging in an ongoing molestation and doing so with children. This is how the analysis goes. Because that's what's the reality of. They're monitoring, and I'm subject to what is sexual violation while they are stalking together inside of a car. And yes, you are stalking inside of your venue where you live, where the environment is present and the government is monitoring. This is the flip side of the federal repercussions of the government monitoring. It's not premised on where you think you belong. It's premised on where the environment is, where the target individual is at. And that is the very dangerous reality of documentation. All right. So I'm documenting them who live on this street while the entity is repeatedly crossing path, monitoring on the venue of the internet, engaging in an ongoing ceaseless molestation. And then the psychopath repeats it. That's ongoing terrorism. That's what that is. While they are monitoring the very words that I'm documenting. Okay. Now that's a level of psychopath that has not been contemplated into federal law yet. We're going to fix that. California is going to be the template. All right. It's 9:48 p.m. and that's P.O.C.